Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome back to the channel where today I'm just going to be sharing a frustration that I've got, and it's not just unfinished fantasy book series that cause frustration with readers. It is also unfinished comic book series, and these three that I'm going to be talking about today all have something in common, which is that they are all published, or not published, as the case may be, by Image Comics. Now, a little bit of background to understand possibly where the issue comes from. Image Comics was set up originally in 1992 by 7 of the top artists at Marvel Comics. So these are the main creators: Rob Liefeld, Jim Lee, and a bunch of others, like the big titles: Wolverine, X-Men, Spider-Man, Hulk, Guardians of the Galaxy. They got fed up because the way Marvel works, the way DC also works, is if you're a writer or if you're an artist, they just pay you for your work. You are contracted to write or draw that issue or however many issues, and that's your salary, but you don't own that work. It belongs to Marvel, it belongs to DC, you're just an artist for hire. Which is one of the reasons why Alan Moore is really angry with DC Comics, but that's a completely different conversation. So anyway, all these artists decided in 1992 to sort of break away, start their own imprint, Image Comics, where they would be the owners of the work. It's all basically, it's called creator-owned content. Problem is, you have to come up with new characters, you have to launch a whole new bunch of superheroes, and things didn't go very well. And some of the original founding members left within only a couple of years. And then in the year 2000, Robert Kirkman from The Walking Dead, check out my review of the series in the link below, he actually joined Image Comics, and he was like the first writer that joined Image Comics. Now, I think the issue is as follows, because I've actually discussed it with one of the creators of the three series that I'm going to mention today, and you can see where the problem lies here. Basically, if you're an artist or you're a writer, I'm not going to name names or who this artist was, but Marvel or DC is what pays your bills. It's your monthly guaranteed income. You just draw for contract and you get your money. And then in your spare time, when you've got time to create the stuff that you really want to work on, that's the bit that you do for Image Comics. Because there's no real guarantee that that's going to sell like a Spider-Man might sell or Wolverine. You know, there's brand recognition attached to those characters, whereas there is no brand recognition attached to new projects that may be a bit more risque, that they may push the envelope in different ways, and therefore they may not sell as well. So the problem with these creator-owned comics is that because they don't sell that well, the artists need to eat, they need to work for Marvel and DC, and the projects keep getting more and more delayed. So for instance, one of the comics I want to talk about is Witches by Scott Snyder and Jock. Scott Snyder is the writer, so I've got here, like, that's a signed print by Jock and Scott Snyder of Volume 1. Now, Volume 1 of Witches came out in 2015. We're still waiting for Volume 2. Now, this little Witches Halloween special, it's a single issue, came out in 2018, and apparently Volume 2 was rumored to have come out in 2022, and here we are waiting. And you can see the problem. Really, they're not that long. They're great comics. They are like horror, particularly this one, Witches, you know, makes witches scary again, and it's a great horror comic. But by the time Volume 2 comes out, if it comes out, I'm going to have to reread everything again. Another comic that it's again really frustrating is The Goddamned by Jason Aaron and R.M. Guerra. Now, Aaron and Guerra, they did the Sculpt comic for Vertigo. I think I reviewed that one as well, so I'll leave a link in the description below. And The Goddamned came out, first volume, 2017. And I've got it nicely dedicated there by Guerra himself. So 2017 and volume 2 in 2021, so 4 years between volumes. And this is meant to be, what it is basically, is like biblical, like it's the book of Genesis basically, but the premise being how messed up was the world that God decided that he needed to start again and bring the flood and Noah's Ark and all that sort of stuff. So it's a really depraved, completely messed up, twisted, horrendous world where the action takes place, and it follows that sort of biblical timeline. But it is not pretty, just like Scott was not pretty. And possibly the one that I find most frustrating out of the three that I'm going to be mentioning today is Injection by Warren Ellis, Declan Shalvey, artist, and Jordi Bernard with the colors. I actually got, I think I've got a print framed somewhere here. Maybe not, but I've got, this is an original sketch by Declan Shalvey of one of the characters in Injection. And again, you can see here, volume 1 came out in 2015, volume 2 2016, volume 3 2017. It's meant to be 5 volumes, one for each of the characters in the series. Still waiting, 7 years. I actually met Mr. Shalvey at a Comic-Con, and he wanted to do sort of hardback compilation of the first 3 volumes, which he did, because he just wanted to give it that sort of treatment, etc., etc. But we are still waiting 7 years and no sign of anything. Same as with Witches, same as with The Goddamned. So incredibly frustrating to be waiting for years and years for these comics, which to my mind are far more interesting than the next iteration of a Spider-Man or Thor or whatever the case may be. But such is life. I have got no idea when these things are coming out again. If anyone knows, please let me know, comment below. And I think it's sort of off-putting, and in a way I almost feel like I don't want to start a new fantasy series or a new comic book series unless it's finished. But then if everyone thought like me, we will never get anything, right? Because they wouldn't sell, so why would they finish them? So I know it's a bit of a catch-22 situation, but yeah, I'm just frustrated. I'm venting, and that's all I have for today. So as usual, thank you ever so much for watching. Take loads and lots of care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.